Hey guys, Jennuine Love checking in for an impromptu inspired video. Something that I've been inspired to do going forward is like opening dialogue about conscious conversations, and allowing us to explore different perspectives. And it's only natural that as we relate to ourselves differently, that we'll begin to, relate to others in our lives differently, right? So, one of the things that gets brought up a lot in the whole law of attraction movement is, like feelings and avoiding positive feelings versus, really dealing with things head on. And so, one of the things that comes up for a lot of my coaching clients and my friends that I talk to on a regular is that, how do we determine the difference between when we're just uncomfortable in a situation or uncomfortable with taking new actions and new steps versus when we're actually, out of alignment with our inner being, right? So that's what I was inspired to share a little bit about today. Hey, those that are joining live, welcome. And so, as always, I like to just begin all of my videos by taking a moment to really fully, consciously come to the now moment wherever we are at. If we're going to do anything, we might as well be fully present for it. And intention is the backdrop of the internal now, right? So let's just set our intentions for watching this video. My intentions for creating this are just to share, So I invite you to just come to this moment and allow yourself to pause, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in. Hold it. Slowly exhale. Feeling the subtle energy shift from one deep breath. Take another deep breath in. Hold it. Slowly exhale. One more time, deep breath in. Hold it. Slowly exhale. Keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to just set your intentions for watching this video and allow your inner being to speak. Let my words be guidance and let them activate things that you already know and that you just needed to be reminded of. Gently open your eyes. Hey everyone that's joining in. Okay, so yeah, this is a topic that I feel is important to discuss and share around, open dialogue around, because we are in this space of the law of attraction, right? And we're paying attention to our thoughts, and we're paying attention to what we share and what we speak about, right? And there's a tendency, I know within myself, I've done it. Sometimes I still catch myself doing it. And it's, it comes up a lot, hence the reason for making this video. Like, we get to understand that there's a difference between feeling uncomfortable, right, and being out of alignment with your inner being, because all spiritual growth is going to be uncomfortable. It really, really is. And if anybody told you different, I'm sorry. But if you've been on this journey enough, and I'm guessing if you're following me that you have been, you know that the inner work is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And when we begin to look at ourselves in areas that we want to grow and expand, we get to acknowledge that there are ways that we can change and grow and expand. And we get to understand that there's a difference in feeling uncomfortable with taking a new action, learning a new habit, learning a new practice, and being out of alignment with your actual soul, you know, without you're out of alignment with your actual inner being. And so some of the things that I have notes right here, so if you see me glancing over, that's why. Okay, so uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable can be when you are taking some actions. You're doing some things that are out of your comfort zone, right? Me doing these live videos, out of your comfort zone. But yet, you know, doing the action, taking the action is ultimately bringing you closer to your soul's mission, your life purpose, you know, the things that you have asked for. So that's uncomfortable. Okay, so if you're in a space of, I'm gonna flip this and then I'm gonna flip it again. If you're in a space of like being misaligned, misalignment feels more like disarray and utter chaos in your energy. It feels more like you're taking actions that are frantic and uninspired, and it's ultimately pulling you away from your soul's purpose and your life goals, right? So that's the basic difference in, you know, what just being uncomfortable is in our growth and what actually being out of alignment is. So for instance, for me, one of the things, you know, personal example, waking up early, getting in the habit of waking up like really, really early. That is something that in the beginning, very uncomfortable, you know, not nearly as comfortable as my pillow and my blanket. You know what I mean? It's still dark outside, you know, the sun isn't even up yet. Okay. But it was something that for me, my spirit kept, you know, guiding me to do. Right. So although it was uncomfortable, and let me tell you, I resisted for a long time, you know, because it was something that was uncomfortable. So I resisted it. And there was you know, I want to do what feels good, right? Because the law of attraction, we want to like draws into itself. So the bed feels better than getting up early, but ultimately getting up early felt better because that was being more in alignment with what I had set intentions for, what I was asking for, what I was wanting to create in my world, right? So although it was uncomfortable, it was absolutely in alignment with me and my inner being. So know and understand that you can be uncomfortable and be in alignment. And these are some examples of that, right? So another one might be exercising. You know, you're uncomfortable doing it. Maybe your body starts a little sore when you're working out. You're uncomfortable doing it. You're uncomfortable going to, you know, the yoga class in front of the people and doing your thing or whatever. But you know, ultimately, it's leading you toward what you have asked for, which is a healthier, you know, body and to be able to honor your body and your spirit more. So even though it's uncomfortable, it's still in alignment, right? It's taking you closer to what you have asked for. For instance, sharing more, me doing these videos, you just don't even know, like I've got crystals in my hands, like they're in my bra, I'm wearing them, they're in front of me, like I have to take deep breaths before I even hit the start button. It's uncomfortable for me to do this. And also it's an alignment for me to do this because it matches what my soul purpose is, what I know brings me the most joy, and what I know is it's the reason I'm here, is to share love and to share encouragement and to help other people, you know, really realize their power to create and to manifest whatever that is for them, right? So even though it's uncomfortable to hit go live, I still do it because it is in alignment, okay? So, you know, it's like for some people, it might be you're uncomfortable charging for your services. You know that you're, you know, a coach. You know that you're a healer. You know that you offer services and you have wisdom that people would pay money for. And yet you're afraid to charge, or you're resisting charging, right? You're uncomfortable with that aspect of it, right? But it's not out of alignment with what you have asked for. So even though you're uncomfortable, you go ahead and you type all that up and you get it all ready anyway, right? So, you know, maybe learning how to let yourself be in these spaces. This is the real gift, guys. This is the real gift, because when you're in this space of being authentic to yourself, even when it doesn't make sense to others, even when it doesn't even make sense to yourself, you know, trust your journey and trust that even in these moments, like, these are self-growth. Like, this is important to your journey, and know that being uncomfortable does not mean you're out of alignment, you know. And you will know, again, that's why it's so important to know how to tune into your breath, because when you learn how to get quiet and sit with your breath and feel, you'll be able to feel how your body reacts. You know, you'll be able to feel the tightness or the openness. You know, you'll be able to feel the different things and the messages. You'll be able to hear what your body is saying to you, which is a messenger, right? So let yourself be in that space to receive. And when you receive, let yourself go with it. Stretch yourself, and be uncomfortable. Be uncomfortable shining. Like, be uncomfortable shining and shine anyway. Be uncomfortable sharing the gifts and the knowledge that is you, and share anyway. Be uncomfortable opening your heart up to receive love, unconditional love. And open your heart up and receive unconditional love anyway. Because although this may feel uncomfortable, it is absolutely in alignment with you and your soul's purpose, you know? So trust and know that there's reasons for the things that we go through. It really, it sounds so cliche. Everything happens for a reason, but everything happens for a reason. And it's not ever for us to beat ourselves up and be like, oh, I created this. This is some bullshit I did not want, you know? Like, okay, yeah, we've all been there, done that. You know, we're learning as we go. And also, even those situations that seem like, you know, it doesn't even seem like they were straight up misalignment. Like, we heard go right, we went left. You know what I mean? Even in those moments, they all get factored in. They all get factored in because you are in every single moment, especially in contrast. You're shooting off rockets of desire about what you want and what you're wanting to create, right? So cut yourself some slack and cut others some slack when we create things that we didn't necessarily want out of misalignment, you know. And don't let those situations trigger responses in you that cause you to resist things that might be uncomfortable, but they're for your better alignment. You know, you might have to leave a relationship and it might be uncomfortable, but it's for your better alignment. You know, you might have to really be in a space where you withdraw from, you know, things that you've been actively involved in because it's no longer in alignment with where you are right now. And it's uncomfortable to disrupt, it feels like, right? But you get to follow what is authentic for you and know that that is the most painful thing that you can do is keep going in misalignment. Like when you realize this is not where I want to be right here, right now, and you start to rectify that. Because if you just keep going on in that, it's just gonna get louder and louder and louder, right? So just let yourself feel the difference. Let yourself really feel the difference. Okay, so yes, this feels uncomfortable. I'm being asked to grow here. I'm being asked to examine some thoughts and beliefs that are no longer serving me. That's what's happening here. And I'm being shown situations and circumstances in my life that have matched the old vibration. And, you know, I'm being shown ways to expand here and to let the new vibration come in, and the newness of what I've asked for in this contrast to come to me, right? And so, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Spiritual growth and expansion is going to feel uncomfortable. I heard somebody say they call it fun comfortable, and I love that. It really stuck with me. Fun comfortable, like learn to see the fun in it, because you're growing. You're ultimately, you know, cultivating self-discipline and integrity, and alignment is the top priority. No matter what, every single thing that we want is always, you know, we want it because we think that's going to make us be in alignment, and you have to be in alignment to get every single thing that you want. So what are ways that we're doing that? And I think that it's really important that we embrace this understanding that it is very possible and it is very probable, it's guaranteed that you can be, will be, at some point, at many points, uncomfortable and still be in alignment. So let yourself feel the difference between, like, okay, this is growth. This feels a little uncomfortable for me, but I know that this is pushing me. This is pointing me in the way of what I've asked for. And so even though it's uncomfortable, I'm going to go with it because I know that this lines up with what I said I wanted. Nobody else is making me have these goals or these dreams. Nobody else is forcing this on me. These are my goals. These are my dreams. This is what I want to manifest. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to be uncomfortable sometimes. I'm going to have to stretch. Like, it only makes sense that if you're one version now and you want to be another version, you're going to have to change. Like, that's very logical and basic, but it's like even the teachings of Abraham is very fundamental. You're going to have to ignore what is and focus on what you want, right? There's got to be a shift. There's got to be a change, right? So just let yourself feel the uncomfortability. Is that even a word? It is today. Feel that and still maintain alignment and nourish yourself and nurture yourself and say, yes, like, it feels uncomfortable to get out of bed at 5 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? 5 a.m. We're out of the bed, mantras and yoga, you know what I mean? But it lines up for me with what I've said that I wanted to create. And I can't deny that when I honor it, the results are just, they're there. And it's things that I want to see and experience and feel. And so that's your indication. Like, that's how you know, like, yes, this might be uncomfortable, but look how I'm feeling. Look at what is manifesting. Look at the results that I'm getting. So that's how you can tell, like, yes, it's uncomfortable and also it's in alignment, you know? So I purposely am not going to spend too much time on what misalignment looks and feels like, because you know what the opposite of all of these things of that we're saying. If I touched on it in the beginning, if you're just now joining in, hey Nikki, you can go back and catch that about, you know, what the misalignment looks like and feels like. But what are some of the things? Does anybody want to open dialogue? I'm open. I have a few. If you want to open dialogue, if you have any kind of experiences or any questions about this, what is the difference between being uncomfortable versus being out of alignment? Does anybody have any questions? This was all I wanted to share, so I won't keep everybody if you don't have any questions, but this was like, it came up in a conversation again yesterday, and the Spirit was like, you need to do a video on that, because that's something we can all benefit from, including myself, you know. And after meditation and yoga this morning, it was like, yes, definitely. And then I had to hold myself accountable, like me posting, hey, I'm going to do this video. That's me holding myself accountable and putting myself like this. Yes, I'm going to honor what Spirit is telling me to do this at this time. And it's uncomfortable. If you didn't catch the beginning, go back, and I'm just like hands shaking, just nervous, all, you know, fluttery and stuff, you know, but at the end of the day, it's uncomfortable, and also it's beautiful, and it's so in alignment with my soul and what it is that I want to create and manifest. So if nothing else, like, let that be the example that you take away from today. So does anybody have any questions? Nikki, Brianna, hey Wayne, good to have you guys join in. You guys, congratulations on doing your first live. All right, if you guys don't have any questions. Oh, Brianna, how do you stop letting people mess with your emotions? Well, right off the bat, you get to reframe even that. How do you, like, people don't have control over your emotions. Only you have control over your emotions. So the first thing would be to immediately make the shift in your mind to, I have control over my emotions. Because you will never have control over how other people act. You will never have control over how other people respond to you or to life, or you don't have any control over any of that. You never have, and you never will, you know. And also, you have absolute control over you, how you think, how you, like, where you let your mind wander to, like what playgrounds you take your mind to play on, you know. And you allow yourself, you have complete control over how you allow yourself to perceive things. I feel for you the 4 agreements. If you haven't read that, definitely dive into that. If you've read it, perhaps, you know, flip back through again, because one of the things that is in there that I've had to just share with myself over and over, nothing, like, don't take anything personally, because nothing that anyone says or does is because of you. And I'm paraphrasing, you know, but nothing that anyone says or does is because of you. And they might specifically say, you this, and because you did this, I this. And also, it's still their responsibility to own how they feel, and it's your responsibility to own how you feel. And so, yes, they may be behaving in ways that are less desirable. What you get to do that's going to be conducive and productive for taking you forward to what you want to create is to ask yourself, like, just get quiet, like, close your eyes, like, feel into the emotion. Because so many times, especially if it's a shitty emotion, we don't want to feel it. We're just like done with that. Like, I don't want to, like, have you do something shitty to me and then have to feel shitty afterward too. Like, that just, no. So, like, we try to ignore it, or we try to retaliate in anger, or, you know, defense, or whatever that looks like in the moment. And also, there's a perspective that says we get to sit with this, like, sit with the emotion, and just, like, allow yourself to take away its big, airy, scary power by sitting with it. you know, and asking it, like, what are you here to teach me? Like, is it anger that I'm feeling? Am I feeling betrayed? Am I feeling jealous? Am I feeling left out? Am I feeling abandoned? Like, what is the feeling right here? What is it? And don't be afraid of the shitty feeling, you know, because you saying, how do you stop letting people mess with your emotions? So the whole mess with your emotions was a clear indicator that whatever's happening is not feeling good. And I'm simply suggesting to you that you have control over how you feel, because you're never going to be able to control what other people say or do or how they respond to you. Like, you can show up in such pure love and such authenticity and with such a desire to serve and to love and to give, and somebody's still going to think you're an asshole. You know, somebody's still going to think you're off your rocker. I mean, that's just the nature of how this thing works. But that doesn't, like, that's never your focus. Your focus is how you're feeling, how you're responding. And the sooner that we grasp this, the easier our relationships become, because no longer are we looking for others to validate us or to make us happy or to make us feel secure and significant and validated. Like, you get to know that for yourself. And I know you. I have the pleasure of like knowing you, and you are a beautiful soul, and you're so powerful, and you have so much to share. You really, really do. And let yourself just be in a space of taking your power back and being in your power. And let people be in their emotions, and let them be in their upset and their misery if they want to. Like, grant them that space and love them. And also, if that looks like you removing yourself, if that looks like you not answering the call, if that looks like you sitting down having a conversation saying, like, you know, this isn't working for me anymore, you know, like, whatever that looks like for you, you take your power back by honoring what it is that you need in this now moment. And also know that going forward, like, this is something you get to cultivate now, because it's going to continue to come up, you know. So you get to be in your space of authenticity and assertiveness, sharing your voice, sharing what you need, and also honoring that for yourself, taking control, and examine your emotions. Don't be afraid of them. And so yeah, that's what I would say to you. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, anybody else have anything that they want to share or ask? My foot is going to sleep. I have to stretch it. Anybody else have any questions? Brianna, that was a great question. You're welcome, sweetheart. You're so welcome. And I would encourage you to go back and rewatch the video later, because sometimes when you're in the moment, you know, you get a little bit, but you don't get it all. If you go back and watch it again, you'll absorb more. Jessica, hey. Does anybody else have any questions? Let me scroll up, see if I have any. No. Well, this is fun. Not going to bring any of y'all on camera, but just so you know that there is a button to do that. Alrighty, well, if nobody else that's alive has any questions, I'm going to tune off. And if you catch the replay and you have any questions, if you put them in the comments, I will do my best to answer them. Absolutely. Alright, much love to all of you. Go out there and shine. Go out there and shine. Alright, much love, guys. Namaste.